Hello, my name's Stuart Murray. I'm the Business Centre leader for the UK for a company called Flexcom, and I'm also National Director. And I've been working with this company for the past 3 years, and now is a perfect time to get involved with the business because there's so much change happening and growth happening with the business over the next 6 months. We've had over 100 people join the business in the UK in the last month alone, and I produced this video to help them, but also help you if you're finding out about this business for the first time and you want to be able to get a completely up-to-date position on where we are and how you can benefit as part of what we're doing moving forward, because there's some huge things happening in the market, huge things we're putting into the market, and you are literally getting involved at the perfect time to benefit from these. So I'm going to share I'm going to share this with you over the next 10 minutes or so, and so grab a piece of paper, grab a pen and write some notes down, but also there'll be some dates as well where you can get involved and either attend an online presentation or attend meetings that are happening in the UK over the course of October, because we have a big promotion running which ends at the end of this month, and after that, next month, the company is actually going to float on the stock market. So we have some very clear deadlines we're working to, which is why I've shot this video today and why I want to keep it as brief, but also to some of the key points so you can benefit most from it. So let's just take you through these slides then. Welcome firstly to the cashback revolution. This is what this business is about, but actually it's about a whole lot more than that, as I'll explain in a moment. So let's just take you through what we're looking about. If we look back in the market, when you look at these cards, about 90% of the adult population in the developed countries, the Western world, have a spending card, whether it be through companies like Visa or MasterCard. And typically these cards cost people money, particularly if they're a credit card, and they also cost businesses money with very little return back. And we're wanting to bring things into the market that's very innovative, that actually helps retailers, particularly independent retailers. So if you're looking at these cards, just to understand the numbers, around 128,000 transactions per second are carried out through these cards. And businesses get charged anywhere from maybe 0.5% to 1.5% or even more for commission on every single transaction. And that's on top of the monthly fees they pay just to have, you know, a plastic box in their business to handle the transaction. And so that equates to around $2,700 billion every single year in revenues for the banks, which is a huge amount of money. The question I want to ask you here is, do you want a share in a $2.7 trillion market? Because that's the market we're talking about here. When we look at this product and we look at the product the scope of that is we can bring it into virtually any area of the economy. It's hugely flexible. So the future is all around mobile payments. And you've probably seen this, there are some countries, certainly in Scandinavia, where the level of consumer spend with cash is actually falling into sort of 20% or less of all consumer spend. And so more and more people are using smartphones and cards and things like that to pay, but particularly smartphones and mobile payments. You've probably seen with things like Apple Pay being, you know, increasingly prevalent. Question I want to ask you here is, which other companies are there that operate in these three market areas? Because we is bringing together, and we're first mover in this market, we're bringing together a product that innovates in three different areas, and there isn't really competition across all those areas. There's companies that operate in some of them, or organizations that operate in some of them, but not all of them. So let's give you some examples around both loyalty, cashback card systems, whether it's ones that are geared towards independent businesses or some of the bigger national, international chains. All of these systems have drawbacks. Even something as successful as the Tesco Club card doesn't operate from one country to the next. They operate in a silo in that one country. The Wii system, on the other hand, you can literally earn cashback in any country where we're operating, and that's over 24 countries. Earn cashback, for instance, in euros when you go on holiday or away on business, come back into the UK and spend it in pounds. So it's completely multi-currency, much more flexible. Secondly, we have here is around online and offline shopping. And again, there's companies that operate in that space. And, you know, you can't go, you know, with your Amazon card and shop in a local, you know, retailers, you know, local butchers or a local bookshop or anything like that. At the end of the day, these business models are online, and very often to the detriment of the high street as well. We want to support the high street. We want to support independent businesses. That's a core, if you like, value that we have within our business model. And then the third one, as I've already touched upon, is mobile payments. And even companies like Apple, and great products and great phones, but still only represents about 20% of the market. So there's always going to be a limit in scope of how many people out there in the market can use that. Whereas our mobile app works on both Android and Apple devices. So there's much broader scope. And if someone doesn't have a smartphone, they can even just use a card. And the two work hand in hand. So a customer can actually have both, and they both will show up with exactly the same account at any moment in time. So let's just give you a very brief overview of the principle behind We in terms of how it works. Because what we're doing is we want to give you that share of the marketplace through our system. So what I mean by that is we're working with people who are partners or agencies that are working with us to distribute customer cards or customers into the market, and also bring retailers as well into the We ecosystem, if you like. So a customer comes into the system, and that customer goes and spends some money, and the business chooses how much of a discount, how much of a cashback they'd like to offer that customer as an incentive to get that in. And they can even do it on different days of the week and all sorts of things like that. So here in this example, the business overall is giving 10%, which means 5%, half of that, goes back to the customer. And then the rest of that goes into We, and basically you can be then earning around €1 per month per customer on average. And so it comes down to how many customers can you and would you want to introduce into the system. I'm guessing lots and lots. I mentioned offline and online, and this gives you an example. So on we have 25,000 retailers already on the system. This is going to increase massively in the coming months, as you'll see when I reveal some of the plans that we're launching literally today, right now, into the market. And then we also have the online spend. So we have a platform there called You by You, which is part of the We or We Economy group of businesses. And you can see we've got big brands there, brands like Lidl, Europcar, Sky, lots of other big brands that are part of that. And this is where you can earn cash back, and the customers' cash back they can then spend in local businesses. So it directly supports the high street. In the UK, we have the highest proportion of consumer spend online. So imagine a scenario where a customer, every time they go and spend money, they can save money shopping at the same place that they normally shop, and that's going to then generate cash back for them that they can use and spend elsewhere. Very powerful. In terms of where we're already working, we're already in many countries, over 24 countries around the world. It's a Swiss-German company, so we have a big presence in mainland Europe, and this is where they're launching first. We're going to be launching second in the UK. We're already live in the UK, but as you'll see in a minute, we've got a big bang approach to launching, and there's a lot of money being put behind this, which you can benefit from by getting involved now. So when you look at this, you've got 13 countries in mainland Europe which are all operating this. These are all pictures of cards that have been distributed into the market. Some of these with businesses, some of them with clubs. We've even got towns, Calais for instance is now giving cards to tourists going through, and those tourists could then be coming back to the UK or to other parts of Europe. And so it's not just limited to businesses. The scope of this is much broader than you can possibly imagine, and it's very, very powerful. This is our goal, 1 billion customers. If you think about credit debit cards, 90% of the population, adult population, have these cards already. So actually 1 billion, it's a big number, but it's achievable, and it represents really just how ambitious this company is in terms of growth. So 1 billion customers, 50 million local retailers worldwide, that's our goal. But we realise in order to be able to achieve that, we've got to be in a position where everybody knows us. So we're having a big bang, which is starting now in October 2016. And let's just take you through what that's about. So we're launching a media campaign right across Europe. All those red countries you can see there are countries that are going live with this. And this is basically advertising We on primetime TV on Saturday night just before the movie, that kind of thing, and also across print media and online as well. So this is all happening. We have an agency behind us called Service Plan, and they're working with us as part of this whole launch. That's going to have a really big impact to the market and bring in lots of customers. Alongside that, we are also launching a call center operation. And this call center operation will be ringing up businesses, let them know all about the media campaign, and these businesses can sign up, and we will then be bringing literally tens of thousands of businesses a week into the system through this and through the sales force we have behind it. And that's going to put a massive number of businesses on the map in mainland Europe, as well as literally hundreds of thousands, in fact millions of customers too. How can you benefit? Well, at a high level, we're basically bringing this together where essentially you're helping crowdfund the advertising campaign and also the call center operation. And we're doing this by selling 50,000 packages into the market. And we're actually coming to the end of this whole promotion. It's been running across mainland Europe for a number of months, but we're now promoting this as part of us getting the UK going over the next 6 months. So really between now and the end of October, there's an opportunity for you to get involved and literally come in on the best possible terms into this business at the perfect time. So what we're doing is we're creating two pools. We're creating a media pool and a retailer pool. The media pool is bringing in customers. The retailer pool is bringing in retailers. And essentially you can get a share of all of that efforts, and it's limited to 50,000 licenses. And literally we're down to the last 1,000 or so licenses because we're finishing this promotion at the end of this month. In terms of the benefits, just give you a high level overview of the benefits. So essentially there's two packages, there's a basic and there's a premium, and essentially you could be earning a passive income through these licenses. It's an opportunity for you to literally have a share in the company and receive a passive income back on it. So the basic license we're looking at around €240 per month, and for the premium license, which includes both the retailer and the media pool, it's around €400 per month passive income. On top of that though, is that if you're actively involved introducing customers, introducing retailers, you can earn significantly more. And other people as well will introduce other team members who will introduce customers and retailers. So there's really no real limit on how much you can earn through this business model. It really comes down to how much you want to put in and how much you can contribute to. But if you want to sit back and earn completely passively, that's fine. You don't have to purchase one pack. Some people will purchase 6 or 12 packs because they want to have a bigger share of the pie. Other things happening as well too here, another big special incentive that's operating just for this month is the fact that we are going public. The company is launching on the stock market, as I've mentioned, and this is happening next month. And we don't really know yet where it's launching, but it will be then a PLC, it will be a public company on the stock market rather than the privately owned company it is at the minute. And as part of that, the business is giving shares ahead of that stock market launch. So this is an opportunity for you to be able to have a stake in this business before it goes into the market. And for everybody that purchases a basic license, you get 32 shares, and for anybody that purchases a premium license, you get 120 shares per package. So if you purchase 6 of those, you can literally multiply 32 by 6 or 120 by 6 or whatever combination you choose. And so if you have a company valuation of €1 billion, it means that each share is worth €25. And this is around the sort of number that the business is expected to be valued at launch. And as the whole initiative grows during the course of the next 6 months and into next year, basically that value will only go up. So even if you're looking at it at that level, €25, it means a single package on the basic license will give you €800 of shares, and a single package of the premium license will give about €3,000 shares. To give you an example, the cost of these licenses is less than €3,000. It's actually about a third of that for the basic license. So the value you're getting here is significantly more than what you're getting back through both the residual income and the shares. And that's assuming you do absolutely nothing. In reality, a lot of people join the business now are taking massive action because they want a bigger slice of the overall market. So alongside this, in Europe's actually got a thing happening, mainland Europe, with these 13 countries called Flexit, because up until now, the business in Europe has operated on a network marketing model, and as part of the stock market launch, we're exiting that, where it will basically become like a direct sales company. And so that's happening in Europe, but in the UK, for the next 6 months, we're still operating on the old model, which is the network marketing model, which is great because it gives people the opportunity to grow within the organisation and get a bigger share of the overall pie, because they're introducing other team members, introducing customers and retailers as well down the road. There's some fantastic opportunity to get involved because of that, particularly here in the UK and other countries that haven't gone through the Flexit, which basically has taken place already within those 13 countries. In terms of our goal for next year, we've got some really big goals. First half of next year, we're actually going to establish ourselves as an online bank where we'll have a full banking license. And this basically means that we can allow customers to connect a mobile app or a smartphone app or a card to their account, and that they connect their account to their bank account. And that effectively will bypass Visa and MasterCard and mean that the retailers don't have to be paying those fees to the retailers for nothing really much in return. They can work with us and get access to a whole marketing system. Allows them to build a database, allows them to generate a new revenue stream, allows them to communicate with the customers. Loads of big benefits there for retailers to get involved. But actually, it also means as well that the scale we'll get into this business by yourself being one of our partners will be significantly more, because we'll be a mobile payment solution. So that side of things will really open up the whole business model and make it even more attractive for you to be able to benefit from this. So essentially, shopping of the past, which is using an outdated system, which is currently handling around 128,000 transactions per second, is something that we're going to be increasingly getting a share of, and that's something that you can increasingly get a share of. So the question is, how much of the market would you like? Because if you look at what the market is doing, this really sums it up. This was former Barclays boss saying that the banking sector is facing an Uber moment. And why? It's because of technological advances. The fact that you can now, less than 10 years after smartphones came out, get a smartphone app that allows you to make payments securely, in fact more secure than even chips and even the magnetic strips. Our system is more secure than that. But how to do that is going to really shake up the whole banking sector. Again, what do you want? If you can imagine what we will have on the back of all the initiatives going on here, whether it be the stock market launch, the mobile payment solution, and all the other initiatives we're bringing to the table, which I can barely cover in the time we've had here. Now is the perfect time to get on board with We. There's never been a better time. I've been involved with this company for the last 3 years. The company is actually 6 years old this year, and it's always got better and better and better, and the company has delivered on everything it said it will, and the next 6 months is going to be phenomenal. Please, we invite you to join us on one of our online webinars that we're running throughout the whole of this month in October, and also live events we've got running during October. So there's a couple of dates you can write down. The next one is Sunday the 16th of October in Manchester, and then we also have Saturday the 29th of October in Manchester as live events that you can attend. And you can also visit the website here, thecashbackrevolution.co.uk, thecashbackrevolution.co.uk, where you can find out more information and watch the full presentation around the whole business model to see how you can benefit from it. Thank you very much for your time. We really look forward to welcoming you on one of our calls and one of our live events. If you're watching this video, go back to whoever shared the video with you and talk with them around how you can benefit and how you can be part of the team to work with them to grow this business. If you're on one of the websites and you've got a link you can click on one of the links below to register yourself for one of our calls or to register yourself for one of our live events. So till then, my name's Stuart Murray. I look forward to seeing you, welcoming you very soon within the business. Thank you.